He's still got 2 balls remaining in his third over. He's bowling to Narul after the batsman crossed. And Narul just dropping this on the offside. There's a bit of a hesitation there. It's a wayward throw. They'll just get the single. So the last thing that Bangladesh want is losing another wicket and losing it via a run out. And Narul, that will bring Tanveer on strike.
Yeah, could not afford to run out. That would just cap things off if they had got one there. 1 delivery to go for Cummins. His figure's magnificent. 2.5 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 14. The deck here at Spotless Stadium plays like it has today. For someone like Cummins, it's going to be a magnificent season ahead.
Could be a few low scorers here at Spotless if it stays the same.
No, don't say that.
Cummings with another nice delivery outside the off. Plays down the line, does Tanveer. Another one of those youthful Bangladeshis in the squad, only 24. But despite coming in at 9, is regarded as an all-rounder, and his stats do back that up with 2,209 first-class runs at 34.5 and 84 wickets at just a touch above 30. Hasn't played a lot of T20 cricket, just the 5 matches with 12 runs at an average of 12 and 4 wickets at an average of 17.5. So I'm sure he will be counting his lucky stars that he's out in the middle and gets the chance to at least be in for a few overs.
You mentioned that he's an all-rounder. It's something that's creeping in more and more to cricket over the last 2 decades, you'd have to say, and especially with 2020 cricket coming to the fore, is that you almost have to be an all-rounder now. You have to at least be able to swing the willow, whereas if you're a Chris Martin and you can't hold the willow, you're not getting 2020s, and that's something that limited his career for New Zealand in the limited formats, was the fact that he couldn't put bat on ball, and we, this is the situation where Bangladesh, if they're able to bat deep into the tail, can do that and build a better total.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. To have players coming at 9, you've got someone coming in at 9 that averages 34.5 in first-class cricket is fantastic.
Clint Mackay back in the attack now. He bowls this one on the middle stump. It's flicked down to fine leg. It's picked up by Ahmed, and let's pick up the single. Narul onto 8. Tanveer yet to get off the mark.
Yeah, these two will just want to do as best as they can to just keep scoring. As much as they can, and just try and just keep the scoreboard ticking. Try and pick up. Every run is vital now for Bangladesh. Every run they can get close to 100 is really important.
Here comes Mackay, and this one's just dabbed short. They go through for a quick single. Direct hit would have had him. Fantastic fielding effort. They were looking to get maybe the overthrows, but it's not going to happen. Tanveer off the mark for 1, 7 for 79. That was a very risky single. Only just paid off for Bangladesh in a position that they can't really take risks.
Yeah, well, they can't. Not risk like that. It's one thing trying to hit the ball over the rope, Ryan. It's another thing trying to take suicidal runs. But I think Nurul Hassan is probably going to be the key here. He's been out there for a while. He's seen a lot of the bowling from the non-strikers, and he's moved himself to 8. He's got a new bat. Just needs to start to hit a few more runs.
Or Mackay with a short delivery, that would have hit him in the head if he hadn't hit it. And it's down to fine leg again, and Ahmed just gets this one in, another single. Great short delivery, a brute of a bouncer. That's what you kind of want to see from a fast bowler.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. Very nice ball aimed at the body. You see a lot of bounces these days from fast bowlers getting carried away. Too wide of the batsman, and it's really just elementary that they get underneath it. But that was a nice delivery, but full credit to Nurul Hassan. He did extremely well to hook that off his nose and get a single.
In again, and that one's a bit short, outside off stump, and geez, the non-striker there, and Nurul was really backing up, and he had to turn, and he pretty much ran the length of the pitch, and he got halfway down and had to head straight back. So no run there. Mackay's figures, he's into his third over, 1 for 6. That's impressive. If that was first-class cricket, you go, yeah, that's all right. But 2020 cricket, that is magnificent figures from the big man.
Exactly is, and he's an experienced campaigner. We spoke about all the plaudits he's had in his career so far, but still an extremely hard bowler to get away in this format.
Well, he's steaming in again now. This one's outside the off stump, shortish, and it's just played away to the man at third man in Arjun Nair. Another single taken. So, look, they're just ticking over the scoreboard slowly, but they really need a couple of boundaries here late on in this innings.
They do. I'm just thinking what the tactics might be of this Bangladesh Cricket Board 11. What they try and do, whether they decide that just try and pick up some singles until the final 12 balls and just see, hey, what can we get from these last 2 overs.
Just looking at the shot that we had there, panning across Spotless Stadium, and there's a couple of clouds, but there's nowhere near the amount that we had earlier in the day. The weather has been fantastic. That one's short, and it's well spooned down the ground, past the wicketkeeper. It'll hit the fence for 4. Magnificent shot there by Nurul. He moves on to 13. Ends the over on a high for Bangladesh as they complete their 16th. It is 7 for 85. Mackay finishes his third over, 1 for 11. That's, I think, the first boundary off his bowling. A very creative shot and a good way to get some runs for Bangladesh. It
was very smart. We saw one of those scoop shots tried earlier in the innings that didn't really come off, but that time it was a little bit shorter. He got inside the line and worked it over the top, and very smart cricket because there's no one back behind the keeper. They pick up a valuable 4 runs, so a few more of those would be very handy. Still 24 balls. You want to be scoring a minimum of 24 runs from here. So 24 runs gets Bangladesh to 109, which is probably more than they thought they would have got earlier in the innings. If they can have one over where things really go their way, 120 isn't out of the question.
Green, the off spinner, comes around the wicket. This one's short outside the off stump and is just cut away by Tanvir. He'll take a single off that one. And they, like you said, they really just need to tick things over from now on. Spotless Stadium looking magnificent tonight. It's absolutely packed with Bangladesh fans. There's flags everywhere. They've got the national shirts on. It's fantastic to see, and can't wait until this is packed though with a different colour of green when the Big Bash League kicks off. As green comes in, this one's outside the off stump, and that's a really inventive shot. This outfield may have quickened up a little bit, and it's going to beat Mackay to the fence for 4. That was intentional. That's not an edge. That's a very well played strike, and it'll move Bangladesh into the 90s. And Nurul really playing a good late innings hand here. He's on 17. Tanvir on 3. Green just unlucky there because it wasn't a bad delivery.
No, it wasn't. He's just used the pace of the ball, glided that through third man. Excellent shot.
Green again, this one's more on leg stump and it's just flicked away through where a mid-wicket would be. Green gets to it, a nice little slide. He had the man at deep mid-wicket and just said, no, I've got this. Pretty good fielding there from the young spinner. So outfield's definitely quickened in these last couple of overs because I don't think that would have got anywhere earlier on, so it's really dried up, which is positive for the Thunder as well in the chase. This one's all on the middle stump and he just tried to play it around the corner and looking for a run out. It just popped up. They get another single, so they are ticking the scoreboard over. Yeah,
that's why I don't think that Owen Morgan would have minded too much in losing the toss. It's probably one of those tosses that you're happy to lose as a captain. The field's drying out. They get to see what the ball is doing off the pitch as they bowl, which is probably going to help them in the long run for this run chase. We spoke about Bangladesh batting deep. Sydney Thunder have a lot of weapons the further down the order.
Green around the wicket. It's been not bad figures. This one's flicked through backward square leg. The chase by Ahmed, he'll get there. Probably could have left it the man. It was a deep square leg, and they'll come back and get 2. It brings Nurul into the 20s.
Yeah, so if the Sydney Thunder do lose wickets early and they have to rely on some of those low order players like Chris Green, Arjun Nair, more than capable. They bat up in the top order for their Sydney grade sides, so they could be called on later on.
Green spears this one in towards leg stump and is flicked through mid-wicket. Will be collected by the man down there in Pat Cummins. He's got a jet of an arm in the outfield. Completes the over. 3 down for Green. No wicket for 18 at Bangladesh. Successful one for them. They get through unscathed. They get a couple of runs and they're now 7 for 95 off 17. Yeah, the last couple of those have been really good, and I think the Sydney Thunder wouldn't be going too wrong if they adopted a similar process when they went out to bat. Obviously, it's not going to be able to knock the ball around as easy as when you're facing the pace bowlers, but the fact that the spinners are on now, they've been able to work them around. It's been some really good, smart cricket. So, yeah, they're inching towards 100, and with still 3 overs remaining. Who knows? It's not out of the question that they could, really go wild. If they went 10 and over the last 3, that gives them 30. They're kind of pushing towards 130, and all of a sudden that is sets up for quite an interesting run chase for the home side. Certainly does, especially if there's some seam-friendly conditions out there, and also we have seen a bit of spin. That leg break from Fawad Ahmed a couple of overs ago that just ripped it. Bangladesh do have a pretty good selection of spinners to choose from. They'll come in handy later on as we see Gurinder Sandhu return from Martin and Angus stand end. Steams in now, bowls this one on the leg stump, and it's nicely flicked away. They'll get a single. It looks like they're going to come back for 2, and they are. There could be a run-out chance on here, but there's not. Fantastic running, and it is received very positively from the Bangladesh crowd.
Yeah, well, they're starting to make a bit more noise down here. Just to the right of us in the commentary box as the score goes up to 97, and that was, nice. Just dropped on the onside, and there was nothing that the Thunder could do about it. Too many fielders out in the deep, and they couldn't get there quick enough, and Bangladesh have got their tails up all of a sudden.
Yeah, the tail has certainly wagged. So you see Sandhu coming. That one's short, and that is a ramp shot of epic proportions at 6. Straight into the side screen. Magnificent shot there by Nurul. He moves on to 27. That is inventive cricket at its best. What a shot.
Yeah, well, Nurul, he's hung around for a while, and now he's really starting to entertain the masses here. Moves to 27, shuffles across his crease, gets inside the line. Mind you, this is Gurinder Sandhu bowling 140 k's an hour, and gets inside it, whips it over the keeper's head, and then had enough pace and enough timing on it to go all the way into the stands, which is probably a 70-75 metre hit back here.
Made like a worker shoveling at a work site, and as he just turns this one backwards of square legs, they're going to look for 2, they won't get it. It's almost like a chef flipping a pancake is the best way to describe it. It was magnificent. That's what you love from 2020, shots like that. And look, the total now past 100, 7 for 104 in the 18th over. Nurul on to 28. Tanvir now, all he needs to do really is keep on feeding the strike, because Nurul's clearly got his eye in now, and he's the man they need to get the runs from.
Well, and we said this from the start, Nurul is certainly the key in the lower order. Is batting up the order today. 6 2020 internationals for Bangladesh, so he's no stranger to being on the big stage in T20. And of course an under 17, under 19 Bangladesh representative. So He's got all the shots. De Beer needs to